For those who aren't aware what the Inner Worlds is, it is a exploration of a Dissociative Identity Disorder, or OSDD-1 system's headspace. As described in the opening, it is a place that exists within our mind that is separate and usually symbolic. And to us, it's very real. To us, it's messed up and jumbled, but it's real. And maybe today, and through one of these, you will see a glimpse into our world. Here's to hoping.
Come in, take a seat, give me a spin. I know we'll have some fun tonight. Maybe you'll find your time well spent. Maybe I'll die when I leave your mind. Come in, I just can't wait to share me with you. I'll show you all my blood, sweat, tears, shit, and bile. Maybe I'll always stay all right inside you. Maybe you'll throw me out when we are out of time. Get your head in the game, get your feet in the mind, get your teeth on time to get rowdy. Get your head in the game, get your feet online, get your head in the mind to get rowdy. Get your head in the game, get your feet in the mind, get your teeth on time to get rowdy. Get your head in the game, get your feet online, get your head in the mind to get rowdy.
With that, I'm going to introduce the first visitor to our inner world. I'm going to introduce the wonderful, the atomic bear.
I'll talk to you later, Mr. McQueen. Yes. Hi.
Were you talking to the one and only Lightning McQueen?
I cannot disclose that information. It's classified.
Bear.
Yep.
Twitch.tv's The Atomic Bear.
The Twitch.tv?
I think so. Are you the Twitch.tv The Atomic Bear?
I don't know. Are you the Twitch.tv/other buttons?
Only sometimes.
Exactly. So, point proven.
This is where Bear reveals that they have TID, and that the they isn't actually non-binary. Yes, Bear is a good test for this, because
that's all I am.
Bear knows our system quite well. Bear will make choices that a lot of people wouldn't fucking dare to, because Bear knows a lot more about our system than most do. And Bear is a cheeky kid, so it should be quite entertaining at the same time. Bear is also one of our closest friends, and it is an honour to have them on for the first live test.
I was told to be professional and posh, so I'm drinking with my pinky up.
One, I didn't tell you to be professional nor posh. You were wearing a hoodie and you chose to get into
Might I add, we have 20 viewers, judge the atmosphere. Might I add?
No,
all right.
that was me saying. That was
because
not...
I had the phone out and I was going to do a bit,
I knew you were
and
about to
they're
do a
like,
fucking bit.
"Don't ruin my shit, Bear." And I'm like, "Fuck you! You had me on. What did you expect was gonna happen?"
That was. I don't think you understand how dramatic the OP is. That's what that was. However, the Lightning McQueen bit still works because a Cars joke is forever timeless.
Again, it always will be.
This is the only issue about doing anything remotely, having its serious moments with Bear. Dramatic moment, trying to introduce, and I can't because all I can just see is this fucker grinning.
It's all I do. It's all I do. What?
I'm usually quite stoic. I'm usually quite stoic. Whenever I'm around fucking Bear, this happens.
You can't handle it. You can't.
And so we will begin. You little sh... You find yourself at the far end of a long room. Below you is black and white checkered floor. To your sides are white and black lined walls. And above you, there is a sky of static clashing with inky black. In front of you is a desk and 2 people. They're also black and white. In fact, everything is black and white. Well, most things. One isn't really paying you much attention. He seems too busy with his,
Unbelievable.
with his paperwork. The other, she's staring at you quite welcoming, actually.
Damn
He
right.
seems happy to see you.
What's poggin', Miss K? Long time no see. What's good, homie? I've come to invade.
You know, we were actually warned about you. Mr. Kensington was quite worried. He thought you'd... What's the way that I should put this? He thought you'd cause trouble.
Well, that's just mean.
Did you just say that's just mean, or that's just me, dear?
I guess both works. Mean.
That's just... I mean, it's Mr. Kensington. You know what he's like. He's
Well, what do you
blunt.
expect?
What, from Mr. Kensington or from you?
Both.
What are your thoughts about this, Mr. Kensington? The man next to her looks up from his paperwork. I'm quite literally guiding this campaign. I'm the one that is forced to go on an entire guide with them. They're going to start shit, and they're going to give me trouble, and I'm probably not going to be able to stop laughing at times, and that's going to be a big problem, because I might not even be able to start the bloody show properly.
I can help you out.
Oh?
You want to buy a can?
Are you offering him beer, dear?
No, listen. I can't get the hookup on the good carling, but I got some Coke, a little bit of Tango, a little bit of Fenty, a little bit of...
Both of them stare at your hands, where there is nothing there. In fact, Mr. Kensington starts smirking and looks at you. I hope the body isn't too much, by the way.
What? What body?
You look at yourself and you realize that you aren't you. In fact,
Pog!
you're a all-jointed, relatively genderless
Oh, fucking sweet!
being.
God damn! Hell, it's perfect for me!
Yes, to be fair, it does. I feel like this is, the non-binary dream more than anything.
You're
So
really,
this
you're
is probably
really, you're
going to
really
work for
selling it
something.
here. I don't know. You did.
Plus, the ball joints don't ache much, and you can take your hand off if you want to slap somebody with it. Although it does hurt, so I wouldn't recommend that.
How do the needles go in? I'm still diabetic though.
In here you're not, no.
Hot damn.
I
Everything.
didn't think you'd have any disabilities in here. Well, obviously, mental disabilities.
Oh, for fuck! God
Those-
damn it!
We don't get rid of those. In fact, mental health issues sort of rule here.
It's a bit bright
Physical,
in here,
not
to be
so
honest.
much.
Feels a bit better.
We did manage to find you some basic clothing. It's just t-shirts and such. So you'll probably have to,
You got a beanie?
Not on us, sorry. We don't really keep many clothes in the BRB. On that note, you look around you and you, being yourself, would probably recognize the place. Behind the desk is a black curtain that is closed.
Ah!
And
my favorite.
behind you, down the other area, there is windows and paintings, some stairs going up to a small control room, a hallway, and some sofas where some people seem to be sitting. You will recognize this place as the British Revisionary Broadcasting Studio.
Neat. Pretty wacko.
Yes,
The floor kind of do be looking like a bit like a chessboard, though. I didn't realize you guys liked
No,
Queen's Gambit
you
that
aren't.
much.
You know we have an introject from Queen's Gambit, right?
I'm aware. I remember. Can I perform the Tennyson Gambit intercontinental ballistic missile variation on the chessboard?
Does it require any props?
I mean, I could just play all of the pieces.
Are you genuinely going to attempt chess on our floor?
Okay. You can't tell me it doesn't look like a chessboard.
She chuckles, or giggles in her own little way. And Mr. Kensington also seems amused by that, as if they are expecting something. But they say nothing. So, what are your plans for today? Where do you intend to go?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just vibing. It was a very, very, very easy travel. Ironically, easier to get here than it is to actually get down to where the body lives. Quite ironic, I do find.
Mr. Kensington scoffs. Well, it is the British train system. What do you expect from it?
It's what, like £60 for a return?
More than that, actually. In fact,
That's disgusting.
You will generally find travelling here far easier. Although you might have some more issues. I'm not too sure how a visitor is going to get around. We do have paintings.
I do like paintings. I practiced Mario 64 for this exact reason.
No, we think that actually might be where the paintings came from. Where would you like to go, actually? We might not have the correct paintings in the right area.
Fear anyone?
One, I don't know what you're currently eating, because you literally can't have anything
Oh,
in
shit.
here. And two...
Can I just materialize nothingness?
No. You have to find it.
Fuck. Can I chisel some of the floor?
Do you have anything to chisel it with?
Bare hands.
Well, he is. Or they are bare, so... Yes, that checks out. You can try and punch the floor if you want, but it is made of marble or something.
Damn
hard.
it.
Nothing really has it.
My marbles, That's a good thing I'm a marble champion, huh? That's a good thing, huh? I bet you weren't expecting that one, lads. Bet you weren't expecting it.
Both of the Kensingtons look at each other with that sort of, I knew they were going to do that look on their face.
Yeah.
Both seem amused, but in that way where they don't want to laugh because it'll be encouraging a child's bad behaviour.
Wow. Fine, I won't punch the floor. Jeez. I guess I will care about the infrastructure just a little bit.
Well, if you look off to the, off to your left, I mean, the infrastructure's already falling down. Ever since the Void incident, well, there's been bloody ink everywhere. That shit stains.
Too bad it wasn't friction ink.
What is friction ink?
Friction ink's like the pen that you can write in, but then you can like rub it out.
Bear, I don't need to know about what you're going to rub.
Why not?
Because we're not set to mature.
The curtains, okay, that's fair.
The curtain is slightly open. There seems to be something behind it.
Oh, can I go over and have a look? Take a little peeky at the curtain of many foretold stories that I cannot mention.
You can.
Do you guys clean this thing?
Mr. Kensington gives you a look that insinuates he will personally eject you from the British Visionary Broadcasting Studio.
Query.
Don't.
Query. Not a query about the curtain.
Hmm?
If you did eject me, where would I go?
Depends on where I sent you. Good question, though. Most people don't ask that.
See?
They sort of wonder.
I am thoughtful.
It depends on where you're ejected to. For a painting, will depend on where the painting goes. Off the edge, well, nobody knows.
Damn, I've always wanted to go skydiving.
Are you genuinely considering jumping off the edge?
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
You're a visitor. I don't know if you can die.
I can't die?
Well, altars cannot die. Altars, they can go dormant. We can fuse and split, but we can't die unless the body dies. You, however, you're like a virus in the system. You're not meant to be here.
It's kind of cool. Kind of like weaseled my way in.
You didn't weasel anything. We let you.
Imagine letting viruses in.
The thing about a virus is that to observe what it does, and to observe the damage it could cause, and also potentially the positive interactions, you do have to let it in. It needs to be tested.
Right.
What do you do?
Huh. I've got an easy way out. I just mug him off. That's real easy. This is inner monologue, by the way. Inner monologue.
Mm-hmm.
That you can definitely hear.
Oh, very likely. That's the thing around here, is if you think too loudly, everybody can hear you.
Inner monologue. Kind of A. It feels very telltale at the moment. You know what'd be really funny?
Hmm.
Can I do an OOC comment real quick?
You can.
It'd be really funny if you made a video thing at the top right, and if someone says something specific to someone, they go, "Mr. Kensington will remember this."
The problem is, Bears, we have amnesia. Mr. Kensington will
Exactly.
not remember
We will not
this.
remember this. Someone will remember this.
Mr. Kensington will not, but someone might, if you're unlucky enough.
Someone might remember this. How many paintings are there? Is it just the one? Or are there a few?
There is the ongoing row of paintings, quite far down
Right.
by the seating and the stairs. They are varied. There's a lot of little areas, but you can't see them right now because you're too far away. Did you go through the curtain?
No, I just looked at it and made a sick-ass comment about it.
Do you plan on going through the curtain?
Potentially, I will go through the curtain.
Is that a yes or
You know what? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Schmooving on in. I got my schmoves.
As you walk through the curtain, Miss Kensington simply shouts back, "Please don't touch much. It's... My pyjamas are in there and I really don't want them to go missing. Oh, and don't wake up Husk." As you walk in, it's sort of like the end of the area. There's very little wall left, and then it curves outwards, and then there's nothing. There's just the static and void sky. And in the middle, there is a sunken bed. So a circle that has a lot of quilts. There are 2 chairs behind it and a table. And in that bed is a sleeping man. At least you assume it's a man. To one side, there is a portrait. It doesn't seem to have anything in the frame. It looks like it's not active. To the right, there is a mirror, a large looking glass. And there is a post-it note in the shadow of what looks like to be, potentially have been another painting. What do you do?
Huh? What does the post-it note say? Can I read the post-it note without touching it?
As you walk to the post-it note, you look closer. And in a very swirly writing, it simply says, "That would be too easy, wouldn't it, Bear?"
I feel like this is a reference to something that I don't remember. Is this a reference to something that I don't remember?
No.
I've been rused. I've been had. Played me like a damn fiddle.
Mr. Kensington pokes his head through the curtain and says, "Oh, yes, no. Joy came and took that earlier on. I think the note's from Wonka."
Pog.
I was told to tell you, if you were looking to get to where you might be, you'll want to go via the estate.
The estate.
You can probably figure out from that the painting before was a painting to the greenhouse, located inside a place that you are quite familiar. It would have led you straight to the heart.
Hearts are pretty important, some might say.
Hearts and minds, very important. Sometimes you have to go the long way round. I mean, you'll actually know what the estate is, so that's certainly something.
Oh, I know the estate. I think. Potentially.
Do you want to find out? There's a portal.
I mean, it's either that or get thrown off.
And potentially.
God, do I want... What happens if I die? Do I just die? Am I gone? Or do I, like, reincorporate somewhere?
I actually don't know.
I kind of... Alright.
I'm curious.
I'm curious. Alistair did it one time.
Did what? Oh, dove off the
Jumped
edge.
out of a... Yeah, he jumped out of a window.
You've seen what Alistair looks like now, right?
Yeah, people look like people, I guess.
Alistair's changed, Bear.
I'm aware.
Not what he used to be, even when he split off Atlas. Jumping off the edge into the void is not recommended. And I mean, I guess if you aim for the static, you might be fine, but...
The estate it is!
That might be a test for a later time, I guess.
Potentially, get a parachute or something. Go find one.
The man in the bed rolls over. And you notice his face isn't correct. It's hollow. The eyes and the mouth are simply almost gouged out, like something had tried to escape and burrow itself through the skin.
Is he sleeping still?
You don't know.
Oh, shit.
He makes a little noise, but it could be a sleeping noise. It could be an awake noise. Whatever it is, he's staring at you from the bed.
Hi, Husk. Bye, Husk. If he's awake or not.
He stares for a little while. A couple seconds longer. And as you look at him, you may realize that he looks a lot like how Alistair used to look. Almost exactly, except the face is so very wrong. And then he gives you a little thumbs up.
Hell yeah. Thumbs up back.
He makes a little noise at that. He seems happy. And then he just casually goes back to bed.
Pog.
Do you continue heading out the curtain?
Yes. Let's get out of here. It's bright in here.
Yes, the static does do that. You get used to it. I mean, you might be able to find sunglasses at some point. I'm sure we could find you something. As a point, so if you must, feel free to have a look around. There'll be things that you can wear if you want to change. A lot of them aren't being used, just you might end up in fights with other altars if you try and go in through their stuff. The painting is over that way. She points to the walls at the end.
That way?
Yes, just over there.
Okay, got it.
Down the other end of the room, the wall continues. There are some windows that look out into the static and the void. And 2 stairs spiraling up into a center platform that goes into a control room. Below it is another corridor. There are some people sitting there, reading. One, however, does seem to be looking up at one of the clock towers. 2 that sit on either end of the BRB, one black and one white. One is simply staring at the white clock tower that is closest to you.
Cool. I'm from England, so I must love clocks, especially large ones, preferably named Ben.
The man looks at you very suddenly. He's interesting looking. He wears a long Victorian jacket, slightly scruffy hair. He's also got a halo and wings tucked in. One seems to be quite bright, staticky almost, and the other is almost the same inkiness of the sky above you. And the look that he's given you starts as not disgusted, but not appreciating that joke, as if he heard your thoughts. And then it very quickly shoots back to a really happy smile. But he doesn't say anything.
Clocks, am I right? I should really stop mentioning clocks. So I'm going to avoid clocks and revert back to just vibing.
His smile stays, and he nods and quite happily. No, you probably shouldn't. It's not a sore subject. I'm just not used to seeing people in here that aren't a part of the system. You know, when builders and such come into your home, and you feel quite intruded upon. He's still smiling.
Can affirm that I am not a builder. That is a fact. Never picked up a hammer in my life, for that matter. True story. Used a saw once. Didn't go very well. What's going on in here? We just sitting. Just chilling.
He's still staring at you, and you can tell that he's finding this slightly uncomfortable. But not in a way that perhaps is uncomfortable
too.
for him, just potentially for you. This is not uncommon with alters of his sort. He very obviously doesn't appreciate you being here, but he's not saying it. He's not. He pauses again, and he looks at the other man next to him. Reading! We're reading! Aren't we, Michael? Michael looks up, and he's an older gentleman. Wears some big round set glasses and a almost lumberjack patterned suit in grey, very pastel coloured. He's a very friendly old man.
Pastel.
He genuinely is smiling at you. He doesn't seem bothered at all. In fact, he seems quite happy. Oh, new person. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the inner world. I mean, I don't know how it's happened, but welcome.
I am welcomed.
Do I know you? Just curiously, I heard that people, the Kensingtons like to talk to themselves, and so do the Angels. No, are you... Sorry, I don't know your mannerisms, and your body's very... I mean, it's not you, I imagine, so... How should I... Is it rude for me to say... ask who you are?
Nah, I mean... A lot of people don't know who they are anyway, so it's kind of like it's a funny question.
That's very common here. That's funny. I like you.
That's what I thought.
Do you have a name?
A lot of people know me as Bear. It's quite a lot of people call me. It's like a moniker at this point. It's like a little...
Bear. I know that name, I think. I've heard them speak about it here before. I don't pay much attention, if I'm being honest. Usually I just sort of sit here and read with, old Siegfried. He's not much of a talker, but...
What are you gonna do?
What are you going to do? I know. It's fine. He's got a book in his hands. Do you take a look and try to see what he's reading, or...?
I'd look at the cover, I guess.
Roll for dissociation.
Gotta get my dice out here. Got a 2.
You got a 2?
Yeah, I got a 2.
The cover is... It's colour. In fact, you're actually struggling to tell what colour it is. It is colour, though, which is quite impressive. In fact, interestingly, both Michael and Siegfried are in colour, despite the fact that the whole of the BRB is black and white, including the Kensington marionettes, but they're not. Siegfried's got mostly black and white clothing, but Michael's just fully in colour. The book is a red, potentially. It could be purple. Actually, in fact, it could be green. The more you look at it, the worse it actually
Green's
feels.
pretty cool.
Well, I mean, you can assume it's green, but you won't know if it is. The more you look at it, the harder it actually becomes to tell what color it is. And you, for some reason in the back of your head, know that there is text on it. You know there must be text in it too, but it's like your brain can't comprehend anything about it.
Ask what he's reading.
He looks at you and... Oh, just some book. Just some book. I mean... We read. He stops there. We read.
Is it like one of those romance novels?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't... Maybe. He looks at his own book, and whilst looking at it, he himself seems quite uncomfortable. Like, trying to comprehend what he's been doing for the last while is distressing to him. And the world around you feels fuzzier. Like the static is getting louder, and like the world's not making as much sense. And then it very quickly goes back to being normal again, and he looks up. I don't think it matters.
Oh. Fair enough. I
He
like
seems-
books anyway.
That's good. I do. I don't know what he expected to get out of that comment, but I don't think he does either. He just seems slightly less comfortable now. He was standing to say hello, but he sits again. And Siegfried, the angel, is simply staring at you. He looks at one of the paintings, slightly to the right, behind the stairs. If you're looking for the estate, it's that way. It'll put you somewhere in the area.
Sweet. That's what I was looking for.
If you see Charlie, please tell him that he needs to come to the next meeting. Doesn't matter how much he's trying to ignore it, he still has to do his job.
Jobs are important. I'll pass it on.
He goes back and begins to ignore you. He obviously doesn't like you.
Thanks for the help, lads. Enjoy your books. Big poggers to you. I'm gonna back out now. I'm gonna big old poggers.
He looks back at his book, but if you look back, you can see that his eyes are slightly looking up at you. Like he's watching you as if... Almost that look that people give to people when they think they're about to shoplift. He's just watching, very slyly, whilst trying to be unassuming. He doesn't like the fact that you're here.
What else could you say? This is what I do. Just gonna slowly back away.
You going to go for the painting?
Yeah. Ooh!
As you step through the painting, it's almost just like you blinked, and you're somewhere new. It's probably quite familiar to you, actually. It's just a regular council estate.